You're listening to Australia's #1 tech podcast. Every week, join hosts Brad and Jason here on the Tech Webcast. Download our iPhone app, follow us on Twitter at Tech Webcast, and visit us online at techwebcast.info. Here are your hosts, Brad and Jason.
Welcome to episode 151 of the Tech Webcast podcast, recorded on Saturday, the 27th of August, 2011. Tech Webcast is recorded live every Saturday and rebroadcast on Aussie Tech Heads on Thursday nights at 7. Today's hosts are Brad, Jason, Aaron, Ronnie, and Jacob. Special guest is Gadgetgrrl. How you doing, Brad?
Hey, how are you, Jason? How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. A little bit overcast here in Sydney today, but other than that, pretty good.
Cool stuff, mate. Cool stuff. Now, we have a big giveaway happening.
Big giveaway happening, that's
Big
right.
giveaway.
So make sure everyone listens for later in the show. We'll be announcing that.
Yep. Big thanks to can we say who it's from?
Yeah, D-Link.
Yeah, D-Link. Yeah, thanks to D-Link for sponsoring us the
Thing.
Yeah, the thing. Now we've got Aaron back on the show today. He wasn't on last week. Now we're going to get Aaron's view on this CEO thing with Steve Jobs.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I'm sure he's got plenty to say about that, as well as Jason as well, and myself, and Jacob and Ronnie. So hello to Jacob. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome
And
to podcasting.
welcome to the podcasting. Now you're new. You're very new at this, mate, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Good. It's good to have you on. And also we have Aaron from Oz Tech News. How are you, mate?
Yeah, going well.
That's the way. And also we have Ronnie Rucker. Rucker. Can't
hello.
say his name. How are you, mate?
Very well, thank you for having me.
Now you do a show each week to do with what's it called? Beneath Everything, something.
Beneath Everything with Ronnie Rucker.
Good stuff. And also we have Gigi on with Gadgetgrrl. Now she requested to play this, so I'm going to play this for her. So here we go. Here's something from her.
Gadgetgrrl, she's got it going on. She's Gadgetgrrl, she's got it going on.
Well, that's very cool.
Now that's going to mess with your head.
Convinced.
Is that you singing?
That is going to, yes. Actually,
Wow.
it is.
Great singer.
And it's gonna stay in your head for days.
It will.
Absolutely a long time. Yeah.
That sounds like that could be a TV show one day. Or maybe probably already is, but it could happen again. So have you been checking out any cool gadgets recently?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Gadgetgrrl? Yeah. Well, I just tweeted today that I got in the Belkin keyboard Folio, which is a keyboard for the iPad. And I like. Do you guys use a keyboard with your iPad? Does anybody have?
No.
No, you don't at all. Does anybody else have an iPad?
Yeah.
Do all you guys have iPads? Okay. Well,
I don't.
at any rate, no?
I don't.
Okay, well, I like this. What I like about this is that it's super lightweight. It's not like the metal ones that are really kind of heavy. It is really, really lightweight, and it actually works. It's very easy to use, blah, blah, woof, woof. But the plastic smell is kind of an issue. I mean, it like permeated my whole place when I took it out of the box. So that's a question to you Australians. Do you guys have any kind of, answer to that plastic smell?
I know
You
the
guys know
answer.
what to do with
Everything,
that?
everything just reeks of slave labor, basically.
Yeah. Well, I took it to. Have you guys ever seen the photograph of the Panera bread man?
Nope.
You ever heard of that guy?
Nope.
Okay, so all right, it's basically like a coffee shop. It's like a Starbucks, only they have sandwiches and stuff. All right. So this guy brought his entire iMac desktop computer into the place and sat there all day long on his computer using the free Wi-Fi.
Wow.
And so that's what I did with my plastic. I took it into, because the place reeks of bread. And so I thought maybe it would, I would suck it up, exactly.
Did it work?
It's a little less plasticky. It's not quite as, wafting plastic.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it's pretty strong.
We should get you on each week to do a gadget segment each week, I think.
Oh, that'd be totally cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can commit every week, but I can come on quite often.
What about every 2 weeks?
Well, you could pre-record it and email it to Brad.
Yeah, you could actually pre-record it and then I can just play it during the podcast, yeah.
Right. And can I tell you something totally non sequitur?
Sure.
Okay. So there was a guy at the bread place, and he had an Audrey Hepburn T-shirt on with a picture of Audrey Hepburn, and his wife was like a 38 triple D.
Wow.
And so it was really kind of funny because if he said Audrey Hepburn, you get it? Yeah. So anyway. So
what
I
else?
thought it was funny.
So what else have you been up
really
to? Gadgetgrrl? Any other things you've been up to? Any other gadgets you've been checking out?
No, why don't we ask you guys, and then I'll come back to me because I'll think of something else. Go back to like Ronnie and other people.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, what about you, Jason? Any cool gadgets you've been checking out, mate?
Who was that for, me?
Yeah, for you, Jason, yeah.
No, I haven't checked out any gadgets in a while.
What about you, Aaron? Any cool gadgets, mate, you want to report
on? I picked up a cool cheap gadget. It got one of these Game, the retailer Game.
Yep.
They were selling these Xbox controllers. You can charge up your rechargeable battery in your controller, and it's like a two controller station.
One of the ones.
Yeah, I got one of those a while ago. Really cheap.
Well, yeah, they're like what, $60, and they were selling them for like $9.
Wow.
Yeah, that was about what
just to get rid of them
from the same shop.
Yeah.
Sydney. Yeah, they're pretty good too. Charge as well. I leave mine in there all the time.
Good stuff. And what about you, Jacob?
Yeah.
Any gadget you want to talk about?
Nothing really.
Okay. All right, nothing really. Okay, that's cool.
I have one.
Sure.
So, okay, Griffin Technology. Okay, so there's 1 billion iPad stands, but it's like an aluminum, really hardcore. Holy cow! I love this stand. It is so nice. I know it's nutty to get so crazy about a stand, but seriously, this is like a substantial stand, and I love this stand. So
is it very expensive?
Let me check the price for you right now. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's like $39.
That's cheap.
But it's not one of those wussy kind of just real flimsy little things. This is really. I'll look it up for you.
All right, let's have a chat to Ronnie about his show. How are you, Ronnie?
Hello.
Do you have any cool gadgets?
Well, yeah, I guess. I've been rocking that SquareUp.com stuff.
Oh, yeah, yes, I've seen that. That's pretty cool.
I've been rocking that lately. Yeah. It seems to be working quite nicely for free.
That's good.
So for those of you out there. And also, McDonald's right now is giving away these free glasses when you get large value meals.
Okay.
And I'm rocking those too right now.
Oh, cool. Good stuff.
Wicked.
All right, tell us about your show.
I do a variety music show that's every Saturday night in America. I guess that's Sunday in Australia.
Yep.
Every Saturday, I play music picked by the listeners. I hit the internet with requests for music requests, and I get them, and I play music, and then do my thing. I do like little bits and try to add comedy and stream it online, and I don't know, trying to take over the world kind of thing.
Do you stream it on Ustream or something?
I currently use Justin TV as my primary source, but I do have like a.
What's the address of your show?
Justin.tv/Beneath Everything, I believe.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah. Or you can head over. You can watch it all on my blog, BeneathEverything.com. You can catch it all there. Cool. But yeah, that's what I do. I play music, and then after I record it all, and then I put it on TV here locally in Hawaii, and put the podcast out there on iTunes and all the millions of other places you can put a podcast at, and yeah.
Good stuff. How long you been doing it for, mate? Been doing it for a while?
I'm working on my 3rd year now. I'm heading towards my 3rd year anniversary now.
Cool. And what made you get into it?
Thinking I could do better than other people.
Okay.
I mean, I know that sounds really lame, but you get into like, you start, really like the progressions tends to be you listen to podcasts and you find the ones that you like, and then you find the ones that you think are lacking, and you get the bug, like, and then you go for it.
Right. Have you checked out any cool other podcasts that you've been watching or listening to?
Oh, you know which one I really like? It's called Waldo and Whitey. It's an Australian cats. I don't know if you've heard of them. Check them out. They're really funny. I listen to them every week.
Cool.
When they put one out, they sometimes fall off the wagon. But Waldo and Whitey, there's some schedule White. I believe they're Australians. They're really funny cats. All right. You should check them out. They're on iTunes. Just search Waldo and Whitey. I think it's waldoandwhitey.com, and check them out. I like them a lot. They're funny.
Okay. Jacob, any questions to Ronnie? Yeah, don't think too fast, mate. Too slow.
What sort of equipment do you use for recording your show and streaming?
I have taken a different tact in my attempt to dominate the world within the podcast community. A lot of people out there, they go for let's get all the gadgets and all that stuff to make everything sound good.
Yeah.
I don't do that. One of the things that I do is I use one computer. I use the internal microphone on my computer. I don't use any mixers. I don't use any external things to make it happen. I do all the switching myself, video switching myself. I do all the, audio capturing through, applications. So, I really don't use any gadgets. I mean, I use Wirecast to do this video switching. I use Audio Hijack to grab the Hijack Pro, I believe, to grab the audio. And after, I record the video stream, the live video stream that I do when I record the show. And then I just export the MP3 out of that, and I put that out. It's quite simple.
Hey,
I
Ronnie,
don't do any editing.
I just wanted to back up a bit for a second. You say you live in Hawaii?
Yes.
Well, no wonder you think you can do music better than everyone else. It's because you can. The radio stations in Hawaii suck. I went over there. I went there on my honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny driving around in the car. Like every single radio station were just playing the same thing, and it was only R&B and rap. So it's like if you venture out of that sort of realm at all, everyone would love you. I can imagine you'd be really popular.
I would have to agree with you on that. There are a few radio stations here, or a few radio or DJs here that in Hawaii that attempt to break from the status quo. And when you're in like regular radio or terrestrial radio or work for a company, to do it, you are pretty much locked into what they tell you to play. So a lot of them, their hands are tied, when it comes to that. But there are a few that are trying to at least put their spin on what they do. But I would agree that here in Hawaii, I do stand apart from a lot of the other shows. One of the things that helps is that I don't pick anything. I don't do anything. I let the listener pick. I go to Twitter. I go to Facebook. I have a link on my blog to have people put in their requests, and I play them. I don't, so really the music is picked by listeners and fans and stuff. So I can't claim any of the, the awesomeness of my show when it comes to the music. It's really picked by everybody else. Now, everything else other than that is my awesomeness.
Do you find you get a wide range of genres for your music that people pick, or is it one particular area?
Absolutely. I don't. We don't do any type of. We don't discriminate, I guess is the right word here when it comes to music. The way we do it is we get requests throughout the day. We put them on a list, and I have my intern Mark here put it into his little I'm sorry for cursing, his computer, and he spits out a random list, and when I play them, they come off of the list, so they don't get put back in unless someone requests it again. So we try not to play things over again. So we've played everything from country to rap to Chinese music. We play whatever people ask us to play. And we also accept submissions from anybody out there that does music. So, you know, I get a lot of artists out there saying, oh, you know what, here's a venue for me to play, to get heard, you know.
Cool.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Yeah. Now you also drink on the show as well. You get drunk and stuff, which is quite funny. People love that, don't they?
I think that, you know, the show itself is, because there's a video component of it and a TV component of it, so a visual component to my podcast, that we do this whole sort of drinking thing. I have to admit that I am an alcoholic, and that for me to really do anything or feel loose enough to do anything, I am not ashamed to admit that I like to drink alcohol and have that in my system to fuel my randomness. But which, you know, in some circles is kind of weird. But there is a drinking game component. You know, if I tend to curse a lot, and I'm trying not to now. When I curse, that tells the audience to drink. It's interactive, I guess. They drink when I curse, or whenever I play a certain song, and usually it has some sort of thing to do with the theme of the show for that week.
Cool.
So
who's your favorite? What sort of music do you get into? Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, I personally, I like rock, I guess. Like if I had to choose one. Yeah. But, you know, like rock is so compartmentalized now. It's pretty much everything. Like, you know, you can call rap and hip hop rock if you want to now, you know, the way things work. So, I you know, again, you know, I probably don't listen to half of the stuff that I play because it's not, you know, my thing.
Not your cup of tea, yeah, exactly.
You know, but it's because everybody else picks it. I play it. I play it for the people. Like, I play the stuff for the people. And
I requested a song last week, and you played it for me. That's pretty cool. You played some Eminem for me.
Yeah, I did. I played some Silverchair. I think you asked for it once before, too.
Yes, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, yeah.
That's how I do it.
That's cool.
I play what people ask me to play.
Good stuff. Any questions to Ronnie, guys? Or
Yeah. I was going to ask. I'm forming a beer grass group, and I have a whole bunch. Yeah, it's a beer grass. You know, like bluegrass, only it's beer grass, because it's a lot of songs about alcohol, and it's a lot of songs about weird things that have happened to me on the road. So I'll try and get some of those recorded and send them to you. I've been playing out. I've been doing a lot of gigs here locally with a bunch of guys, and one of the songs involves these cab drivers. I had a cab driver who was the whole cab was filled with oranges, and on the way to the airport, he took out a syringe and he put it into a bottle of vodka, and then, you know, shot up the orange and then put the orange in his mouth. So that's what the song's about.
Nice. I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that when I did have a day job, but I just you know put the alcohol in like a
right, like a normal person. Exactly.
I just mixed it with the Sunkist.
Right. Or Tang.
I know this probably isn't good podcast etiquette, but are you on Twitter? I think I just followed a Gadgetgrrl show. Is that you?
Yeah.
I'm Beneath Radio. Just follow me, and then when I put the links out for submissions, just put them in, and I'll get them.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, good stuff. Now let's talk about Steve Jobs, Jason. Now let's get your thoughts on that first, mate. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I can do a news article here, and then we can discuss it if you like.
Yep.
Some say this marks the end of an era, and what an era it was. Steve Jobs has finally filed his resignation from Apple Wednesday. From his first demonstration of the Apple Macintosh to the countless keynote speeches and the final introduction of the iPad 2, he knows innovation and he knows how to do it well. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, all good things come to an end. I've always said if there were ever come a day when I could no longer meet my duties and expectations as Apple CEO, I would be the first to let you know, he wrote. Unfortunately, that day has come. This may not come as a total surprise for some, as it has been long rumoured that Steve has been in battle with some illness for quite some time. In January, he announced that he'll be taking medical leave of absence, but came back publicly with Apple's reveal of the iPad 2. So what happens after this? Apparently, he has advised the company's board to execute their succession plan, which primarily includes naming the now former company COO, Tim Cook, as the new CEO. Cook has been with Apple since 1998 and was Compaq's vice president of corporate materials prior. This also isn't the first time for Cook to handle Apple, as he was delegated as interim head on multiple occasions. One when Jobs had surgery for pancreatic cancer during 2004 and in 2009 for a liver transplant. While Jobs has resigned as CEO, he won't be totally leaving Apple. Afterwards, he has been elected as the company's chairman of the board, with Cook joining in as well. Effects of this resignation has affected Apple stocks as they went down by 7%, but has raised it by 2% afterwards. Steve's resignation letter to the Apple board. To the Apple board of directors and the Apple community. I've always said if there ever came a day when I could no longer meet my duties and expectations as Apple CEO, I'd be the first to let you know. Unfortunately, that day has come. I hereby resign as CEO of Apple. I would like to serve, if the board sees fit, as chairman of the board, director, and Apple employee. As far as my successor goes, I strongly recommend that we execute our succession plan and name Tim Cook as CEO of Apple. I believe Apple's brightest and most innovative days are ahead of it, and I look forward to watching and contributing to its success in a new role. I've made some of my best friends of my life at Apple, and I thank you all for many years of being able to work alongside you. Steve. So it's quite good because in the past people have complained that they didn't think that Apple had a successor plan, but obviously they do, so they've got things planned out for the future. Yep. So it's good to have that knowledge, particularly for investors and fans, that they do have a long plan ahead already worked out, probably on a board somewhere or locked up in a cabinet somewhere.
Yeah.
But the future of Apple should be in good hands now with Tim, because he's been very, very close with Steve and learning all the Steveness, I guess you could call it,
exactly,
on how Apple works. So I believe he'll keep it going with a few minor changes. They've announced today that they're not allowing rentals of TV shows for 99 cents anymore. So that's gone.
Okay, that's gone. Now, I'm just going to miss him on stage, because I remember seeing him on stage every time doing these keynotes, but now, the next one we won't see him on there. So
it'll probably be Tim Cook. They also employed the guy who created jailbreakme.com.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
He got a job as an intern in Apple now, so there could be some really good changes coming. And as we know, not long ago, they also employed the guy who created a jailbreak version of notification system similar to Android, which they're putting into iOS 5. So they've got some pretty good changes coming up based on jailbreak people.
Definitely.
So I don't know if this means if you want to get a job at Apple, go out and create some jailbreaking stuff and you'll get a job. Yeah,
for sure. Now,
did you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, did you guys see the photo of him on TMZ?
Yeah.
Did you see the recent? He looks like he's gone, man.
They're trying to hold him up so he can walk.
Right.
I think that's probably the main reason why he actually he left. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't at all.
So what's your thoughts on this, Jacob? You a fan of Apple, mate, or not?
The only thing
you're not
I
really
have
talking much
from Apple is just an iPod. That's it.
Okay, that's good. All right, and what about you, Ronnie?
Who's Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs? yeah.
I think Aaron had something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. What's your thoughts?
Oh, look, everyone's writing these obituaries about Steve Jobs this week on the tech blogs, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, the article that I wrote, the headline basically summarizes my feelings perfectly. Apple minus Steve Jobs equals Apple. I mean, the main thing over the past couple of years is that everyone has thought that Apple are toast the day that Steve Jobs leaves. But the people who say that have no idea how Apple run at all. I mean, Tim Cook has run this company for basically the past 8-9 years now. Steve Jobs is just someone who just goes, that's not good enough, you know? I mean, Tim Cook, his job as COO is to spend all day screwing their suppliers to make like all these components 1 or 2 cents cheaper, like every couple of weeks, every couple of months. And this is why they've made so much money. They're a publicly trading company. Their job is to make money for their shareholders, and Tim Cook has done that every day for the past 9 years. And he just keeps doing that. So it's like the company will run the exact same way. And they own so much market share and make so much money that they could hit cruise control right now and not even invent anything new and just remain the most powerful tech company in the world for years to come and not even invent anything new, and they probably will. They'll be totally fine. I sort of think that I know that Steve Jobs is sick, but it's not like he's going to die in 3 weeks' time or something, and this is why he's finally resigned. He'll live for years to come. It's just that they were trying to wait for the right time to finally be able to say, if Steve Jobs is gone from Apple, it won't hurt the stock price. That's all they needed to worry about left. The company is fine. It's been fine for years. It runs itself. And so when you look at what's happened over the past week, there's been two things that have happened that would make the stock not drop on Apple. Number one, Google go and liquidate a third of like their total cash reserves buying a bloody hardware company, Motorola Mobility. They're now getting into the low margin hardware business and just going to distract themselves and waste a whole bunch of money. And Hewlett-Packard just quit the PC business and quit the mobile industry altogether. So like, I mean, I in my article, I wrote that probably the only suffering Steve Jobs had over the past week was making his liver transplant hurt from laughing so hard. It's sort of like the industry is just chewing each other's faces off trying to compete with Apple. And so now, like, Apple have just, it's like they're numbers 1, 2, and 3 now. You know, and there's a distant number 4 with Google. You know, they're going to be completely fine, and all that they're just waiting for the right time, and the industry did it for them. So it doesn't surprise me that Steve Jobs resigned right now.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you in terms of the company's going to be fine, but physically, you can't look at his photograph that just got released today and say that he's going to be alive. He looks like he's going to die any minute. Did you see that photograph?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
He's emaciated.
Yeah,
he looks like dead. I mean, he can't possibly be alive the next 3 months. Seriously. Did you see that photo?
No,
really?
I'm looking at it right now. Hang on.
I think it's interesting,
I saw it, but he
Aaron.
looked sick for a while.
I think it's interesting, Aaron, what you were saying, that Google and HP have basically done the opposite thing. Google didn't have any hardware, really, that they created. Now they bought a hardware company, and HP is getting rid of their hardware companies or hardware parts of their company. So it's like one is jumping in and the other one's jumping out of exactly the same thing.
Well, everyone's trying to react to Apple, and they're just screwing themselves up in the process. I mean, Hewlett-Packard have basically, it's like there's a new reality now. You can't judge the future on the past. So, I mean, Apple have bought up the supply chain. So, like the MacBook Air, for example, if another company wanted to make a computer that looks like that, it would take them 3 years to be able to afford to build it as cheaply as Apple does today. And in 3 years' time, Apple would have completely been past the MacBook Air and have something totally new. No one can ever get ahead of Apple anymore because they've got, like, they buy 40% of all the flash memory built in the world. Yeah, they own it all.
Geez, I'm looking at this photo. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just saying. So, like, so HP are looking at the future. I mean, they've been making 4 to 5% margins on their hardware right now, and they're looking at that thinking that's awful. But in the future, it'll be 3% margins, 2% margins. It's really going down to nothing, and everyone else are like eating themselves alive on price, trying to compete with Apple on features. Right. So, like, that's why they're quitting. They're thinking, like, we're just going to be making components for free. We're making stuff for free. Why go to all the hassle? We can just compete in the enterprise with IBM and Oracle.
Right, because Apple's like Walmart, and they don't want to compete with Walmart, and that's the model. Exactly.
And as for Google, Google have just gone and really hurt the Android system by buying Motorola Mobility. They had to do it. Motorola Mobility basically said, if you want to buy our patents, you've got to buy the whole bloody company, you know, and they forced them to do it. They had all the power in those negotiations, and Google just went, you know what, fine, we could probably have a go at making stuff ourselves anyway. The only way that could work out really well for them is the fact that because Apple owned the supply chain, if Motorola just quit the retail industry and became a wholesaler, so other people could come to Google and say, I want to sell Android phones, can we send our designs to you and you guys manufacture them, that would actually work out well, but they won't. Google will retail phones, Android phones, and so now Android is being hurt by that. All their partners have been screwed. I wouldn't be surprised if in 3 to 6 months' time we see Nokia and HTC do a merger, for example. You know, it's gonna change things. So it's like Android has been the only thing that's been a legitimate threat to Apple, and Google just went and killed Android themselves. Like, they won't have the same market share they have now in 2 to 3 years' time at all. So it's like the only thing that Apple could ever do to kill Android was to just do something to significantly reduce their market share, and Google did it for them. So it's perfect. Apple is set up now.
Well, as from this photo I'm looking at now, Steve Jobs, mate, he looks very sick and hasn't got long to live.
Very.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. But anyway.
We have time for some news then.
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Okay, another zombie shooting game, House of the Dead Overkill Extended Cut, has been refused classification in Australia, making it illegal to sell across the country and illegal to own in Western Australia. Sega Australia is determined to appeal the decision immediately and hopes to have classification overturned, something the company managed successfully with Aliens vs Predator. Managing Director Darren Macbeth believes the classification board's decision is another indication of the current inconsistencies of the system for video game ratings in Australia. Things are far worse titles currently available in the marketplace, which involve more than shooting down mutants in humorous circumstances, said Mr. Macbeth. We do everything we can to prove that the House of the Dead Overkill is worthy of an MA15+ rating in Australia. The original Wii version of the game was rated MA15+, with the consumer advice strong horror violence. It's unclear what additional content in the PlayStation 3 re-release, which comes with 3D and Move support, has caused the game to fall foul of the guidelines. Australia currently has no higher rating for video games than MA15+, but earlier this month all state and federal attorneys general reached a consensus to pledge in principle support for an R18+ category. House of the Dead is not the first popular zombie game to be banned in Australia. In 2009, Left 4 Dead 2 was also refused classification. A toned-down version of that game, with much of the gore removed, was later released for the local market. The maker of popular online games Farmville and Cityville, Zynga, is being sued for patent infringement by a Texas gaming startup. Agincourt claims Zynga is violating two of its patents relating to systems for redeeming prizes in games. The patents were awarded in 2001 and 2004. Zynga's remarkable growth has not been driven by its own ingenuity or innovation, said Agincourt. Rather, it has been widely reported that Zynga's business model is to copy creative ideas and game designs and use its market power to bulldoze the game's originators. Zynga has plans to offer an initial public offering of stock. About 230 million people every month play addictive Zynga games such as Farmville, Cityville, and Texas Hold'em Poker. The games are free to play, but Zynga charges small amounts of money to buy virtual items that can help players advance in its games more quickly. Little is known about Agincourt. The company, based in Plano, Texas, describes itself as a startup aggregator and renovator of underappreciated games. Its website links to an online game called Pantheon. Agincourt filed the lawsuit on Wednesday in the U.S. District Court in Wilmington, Delaware, seeking unspecified damages, attorney's fees, and declaration that Zynga infringes its patents. Zynga declined to comment. What does it mean when the world's biggest personal computer maker stops making PCs? It means we're now officially in the era of the iPad. Late last week, computer giant Hewlett-Packard revealed a dramatic plan to pull out of the consumer electronics business. No more personal computers, no more smartphones, no more tablets. That's why the HP TouchPad, which had only just launched locally, was sold off by Harvey Norman for a fifth of its regular price on Monday. But why would the PC market leader decide to stop making PCs? Experts say it's because there is less and less money left in the business. The PC business is getting much more challenging, Gartner principal analyst Tracy Tsai told news.com.au. The media tablet, like the iPad, has already had a level of impact on PC usage. Consumers are now considering adopting an alternative computing device, maybe a smartphone or a media tablet. Ms. Tsai said the HP were making money on PCs, of which they shipped almost 15 million during the second quarter of 2011, but not as much as they made from other areas. Their profit margin on PCs is about 5.9%, which is not bad compared to the other PC vendors in the industry, she said. However, it's much lower, probably only half of that to the other divisions like software service and those kind of enterprise divisions. Accordingly, HP's decision was to exit the consumer market completely and focus on selling software and hardware to businesses, just like IBM did before them. That move will involve HP selling its PC division and moving to purchase business software maker Autonomy for as much as $10 billion. Telsite researcher director Fode Fagey said it was possible HP's leaders knew they couldn't compete with Apple in the consumer market. Right now, the company that is setting the benchmark in terms of hardware and profitability is Apple, and they've done that by not following the norm, if you like. They've reinvented the categories. If you look at Apple, you have something like 40% margins on their hardware, while PC businesses may be down to single digits in some instances. I think that HP is taking a good hard look at itself and realizing that maybe some of the things it needs to do to effectively compete with the likes of the Apple is just not going to be able to do under its current structure. However, the competition between HP and Apple isn't just about brands. It's also a shift away from one kind of computer to another. I think that one of the underlying tones here is that we are entering a post-PC era, Mr. Fadagi said. It doesn't mean PCs are going away completely. PCs are still going to be used and so forth, but there is realization that consumers are choosing to do their computing differently to how they did it a few years ago. They're first tending towards a smartphone or a tablet, and then they're going to a PC. Increasingly over time, more of those things they do on PCs will happen on other devices. And that's the news for today.
Good news, mate. Great news as always. Each week we do have tech news from Jason, and if you don't really like the tech news, just skip it and don't complain about it. Also, we've got Jacob. Now, Jacob, he's new to the podcast. Now, what do you want to talk about, mate? You got some news stories.
These two stories I found.
Go ahead.
Well, the heading is Mobile Carrier Imposes Handicaps on Smartphones.
Right. Yeah, read it.
And the person writes, Neblix writes, a team at the University of Michigan and Microsoft Research has uncovered for the first time the frequently suboptimal network practices for sorry, can I reread that over?
No. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, Jason, what's going on, mate?
We're going to be announcing our competition.
Yep, go ahead. What do we need to win? Now, this is only for Australian only, so be prepared to listen.
Anyone who's Australian who's listening to the show, send an email into techwebcast@gmail.com with a photo of your home entertainment system.
Yep.
We'll find some that are pretty lacking.
Yep.
And if yours is lacking in an entertainment system, we'll go into the draw, and one random person will be winning a D-Link Boxy Box donated by D-Link.
All right, great stuff. Thanks to D-Link for sponsoring us the Boxy Box giveaway. Now, when will we draw the giveaway? In about 2 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, we'll give them 2 weeks, and on that episode, well, whatever episode it turns out to be with the home theatre in the middle, I'm not sure what number we'll be up to.
Nah, well, I think I might be giving them home theatre a bit of a miss, I think, for the time being.
Alrighty, so maybe episode 153. Keep listening for a couple of weeks, but send in your entries with photos of your home entertainment system, guys. We'll find the weakest looking one weakest looking few, and we'll throw them into a hat or something, draw out a name, and send you a Boxy Box.
And make sure you put your name on the email and subject giveaway. Would be a good subject giveaway.
We'll email you back and get your address details and send it off.
Good stuff. All right. Okay, this has been episode 151. Ronnie, thanks for being on, mate.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to Gadgetgrrl for being on.
Yeah, no problem.
Where do we find them on the net?
Where do we find you on the internet?
Mine is Gadget, GADGETGRRL.com. First Gadget Girl on Earth.
Well.
Period. Yeah. the only one. The original.
And the same for Twitter?
Yeah, same thing.
Cool. All right, and what about you, Ronnie? Can I find you?
Beneatheverything.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at Beneath Radio.
Cool as.
And check us out every Saturday night.
We'll do. And me, Brad Oz, Tech Webcast and Tech Loss. So Jason?
Warlock on Twitter, WAULOK, and Bluebilby Apps on Twitter, and also bluebilby.com.
Okay, and Jacob, where can they find you, mate?
Just on Google Plus.
Right. Okay, and your name on Google Plus is
Jacob Jones.
Right, and Aaron.
Sounds like Aaron's gone.
Aaron, you there?
Oh,
he's gone.
Nope.
Anyway.
That's the show.
He missed out. That's the show. Thanks for listening. Enter the giveaway and try and win a Boxy Box. Thanks to D-Link. And more next week. Thanks, Jason.
See you then.
Thanks, mate.
Hi, Glenn from Aussie Tech Heads. Join Will, Eric and myself as we bring you the latest, most up-to-date important tech news that affects you from Australia and the world. Weekly podcast available each Friday through iTunes. Watch the live stream recording of the show at live.thesecrethub.com each Thursday night, 7:30pm or GMT plus 10. Call in live via Skype or chat in our lounge. However you get us, just make sure you do. Listen or visit our website for more information, www.aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's longest running tech news podcast.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out Tech Webcast on blip.tv and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes to make sure you always have the latest episode at your fingertips. Tech Webcast, Tech Talk for Geeks.